Today we're taking a look at these college basketball matches, which are happening on Tuesday, January 24, 2023, and giving you our team pick for today. Welcome back to High Stakes. Before we dive into our video, don't forget to subscribe and push that notification bell to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos, and make sure to watch it till the end so you don't miss any of our picks. Also check out our Patreon if you want access our premium picks. Our Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. You will find the link in description and comments section below. Clemson Tigers vs Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. The Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets buzz up to the Palmetto State to take on the Tigers of Clemson. The Yellow Jackets are out to an 8-11 start, while the Tigers are an impressive 16-4. When these two teams met earlier this season in December, the Tigers mauled the Yellow Jackets, 79-66. This matchup has been pretty even, with Clemson winning 6 out of the last 10 head-to-heads. Even if Hunter plays, I'd still take the point here. Clemson now has a target on their back, and they have not been great as a big favorite. They didn't cover the 15.5 against Louisville at home on Jan. 11, and that was the last time they were favored by 2.5 or more in the last month. The turnover problem will continue to be a problem, especially as Hunter attempts to play, and he's not 100%. Our team pick is Georgia Tech plus 11 points. The Yellow Jackets' best game in their losing streak came against Notre Dame in their 73-72 loss in overtime as a 5-point dog. Fresno State vs Boise State. The Fresno State Bulldogs, 7-11 3-4 MWC, pay a visit to Boise, Idaho, an Extra Mile Arena on Tuesday, to face off against the Boise State Broncos, 15-5, 5-2 MWC, in a Mountain West Conference game. Fresno State snapped a 3-game losing skid with a 76-63 victory over the UNLV Rebels on Saturday night. Isaiah Hill led Fresno State with 28 points. Boise State had its 5-game winning streak snapped when falling to the New Mexico Lobos 81-79 in overtime on Friday night. Fresno State will play without Joseph Hunter, while Isaiah Moore is questionable. This matchup will be between two Mountain West Conference rivals that focus on defense first, which will result in a low-scoring game, and the advantage here goes to Boise State due to a better offense. The Broncos are allowing an average of only 61.6 points per game, and at the same time are scoring an average of 73.2 points per game, while in contrast Fresno State is tough on defense, allowing an average of just 62.9 points per game, but struggles offensively, scoring just 61.4 points per game. Fresno State's weakness is its shooting, as the Bulldogs hit just 42.6% of their field goal attempts and 29.8% of their three-point attempts. Our team pick is Boise State Broncos minus 10.5 points. Fresno State has failed to cover the spread in 4 of the last 6. Boise State has covered the spread in each of its last 5, and on the season is an above-average 13-5-1 at TS. Vanderbilt Wildcats vs Kentucky Wildcats. The Kentucky Wildcats end a 2-game homestand Tuesday night with a game in Nashville, Tennessee against the Vanderbilt Commodores. Kentucky comes into Tuesday 7 games above .500, riding a 3-game win streak, following a 9-point win over Texas A&M defensively. Kentucky did just enough, allowing only 67 points, including just 31 in the first half, as Texas A&M shot only 18.8% from the beyond the arc and turned the ball over 16 times in the game. Offensively, Kentucky was lights out, making nearly 41% of their shots and 34.4% from beyond the arc, leading to 76 points, including 47 in the second half, to erase a 2-point halftime deficit. Both teams come in off victories in their last game, but that's where the similarities end for the most part. Kentucky is the better offensive team, and they have the reigning Wooden Award winner in Cheedwood dominating the low block. We saw how impactful he can be in the win over Georgia last week when he piled up 37 points and ripped down 24 rebounds, as Kentucky came from behind in that one. Vanderbilt is a decent team, but they are slightly below average on the defensive end of the floor. They also struggle to shoot the ball with consistency this season, and that proves to be their undoing. Kentucky has dominated the series in recent years, and this one is no different. Our team pick is Kentucky Wildcats. The Wildcats earned the victory here to make it 14 straight wins in the series. Drake Bulldogs vs Indiana State Sycamores. The Drake Bulldogs host the Indiana State Sycamores on Tuesday. Drake is coming off a 97-61 victory over Evansville. Drake let Evansville hang around for the first 7 minutes of the game, where it was tied 16-16 before taking a quick 27-16 lead and never looked back. The Bulldogs finished the game shooting 56.7%, 38 of 67 from the field, and 51.9%, 14 of 27 from downtown. Drake was able to pull down 42 total rebounds with 33 on the defensive end. In this game between two evenly matched members of the Missouri Valley Conference, the difference will be Drake playing at home and its tough man-to-man defense that is holding opponents to an average of only 63.6 points per game, which is 40th best in the nation. Drake is also in the top 50 in field goal percentage and three-point shooting percentage allowed. The Bulldogs are also strong on offense, averaging 74.0 points per game and in the top 100 in both field goal and three-point shooting percentage. Drake has covered the spread in 2 of its last 3. Indiana State is giving up too much on defense, allowing an average of 70.0 points per game, which is 206th in the country. Our team pick is Drake Bulldogs -6 points. The Sycamores have failed to cover the spread in each of the last 4 games, and in each of the last 2 games, Indiana State has allowed an average of 80.0 points per game. San Jose State Spartans vs Air Force Falcons. The Air Force Falcons end the 2-game homestand Tuesday night with a game in San Jose, California against the San Jose Spartans. Air Force comes into Tuesday 4 games above .500, following a 10-point loss to San Diego State that ended a 3-game winning streak. Defensively, Air Force did play well, holding San Diego State to only 38.6% shooting, but the Aztecs made 22 free throws to score 70 points in 40 minutes. Offensively, Air Force did shoot the ball well, making 46.2% of their shots, but made only 40% from the free throw line and turned the ball over 6 times, resulting in the loss. With Amari Moore and Alvaro Cardenas on the floor, the Spartans can score, but their defense is a big issue. As I've mentioned, the Spartans are dead last in the country in steals. The Falcons look like a much better defensive team than the Spartans, so I'm backing the visitors to cover. Our team pick is Air Force Falcons plus 3.5 points. Both teams love to play at a slow pace, and I'm expecting to see a tight battle for all 40 minutes. SJSU is a bad free throw shooting team, 66.3%, 316th in the country, which could decide the winner down the stretch. On the other side, the Falcons make 71.2% of their free throws, 186th. They are 5-0 ATS in the last 5 outings on the road. UNLV Rebels vs Wyoming Cowboys. The Wyoming Cowboys go back on the road Tuesday night to Las Vegas, NV, for a matchup with UNLV. Wyoming comes into Tuesday night struggling this year, 7 games of below .500, despite a 1-point win over Colorado State in their last game to end a long losing streak. Defensively, Wyoming did just enough, allowing only 57 points on 44.9% shooting, and the Cowboys forced 18 turnovers to get the win. Offensively, Wyoming continued their struggles, making only 40.4% of their shots and an abysmal 54.5% from the free throw line, but knocked down 6 long balls to get the win. I'm expecting the Rebels to finally show their defensive potential and put an end to a 4-game losing streak. They've allowed 75 or more points in 7 straight outings and must be fired up to prove their worth. Also, the Rebels have enough firepower to torture the Cowboys' shaky defense, so I'm laying points with UNLV. Our team pick is Rebels -7 points. It's hard to trust Wyoming's D that allowed 80+ points in 4 straight outings before Saturday's 58-57 victory to Colorado State. The Cowboys prefer to play slow, and the Rebels will try everything they can to pick up the pace while playing aggressive defense.